You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a suspect is arrested after a chase that leads to Galena schools locking down.
Also, the city of Carthage has 2 empty seats to fill for its municipal elections, and no one is running in them.
And radar is all clear right now, but that is not going to be the case as we head towards the weekend. Your entire forecast when we come back in just a little bit.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A suspect search in Galena, Kansas ends with an arrest in Missouri. What started as a call for an attempted carjacking sends Galena schools into lockdown. Galena PD got a call around 6 a.m. and it was about an attempted carjacking in the Galena High School parking lot. Now, officials later discovered the attempted car theft was actually at the Casey's on South Main Street, not at the high school. Authorities say the male suspect took off on foot, and they say he tried to steal at least 2 more cars while he was on the run. They say it was those attempted thefts that eventually led to his arrest near the Liberty Power Plant on the Missouri side of the state line.
Calls 2 separate cars that the same description the subject was trying to steal. With the assistance of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office K-9, we were able to locate him. We've taken him into custody back in Jasper County.
So if you don't back your head back.
Okay.
Jasper County deputies took the suspect into custody at around 9:30 yesterday morning. Well, some residents of a Joplin apartment complex are worried about where they will be in the coming weeks. 2 apartment complex buildings are located at 2nd and Byers. Assistant Joplin City Manager Tony Robin tells us the buildings will be demolished, but did not give us a date. Now, residents' water was shut off more than a week ago by Missouri American Water. Tenants told KOAM's Carrie Worthen they've had to fix issues like doors, frames, and walls. And appliances were not being replaced, and the ceilings leak when it rains. Joplin building and fire officials said in a statement they've worked with the owner for years to correct a variety of code violations.
Repaired the front door, bedroom door, bathroom, toilet, got flooring for the place, 2x4s to fix any other joists in it. My wife's painted the house.
We're supposed to have refrigerators, they don't work. In most of the apartments, the stoves don't work in most of the apartments. So and it's supposed to be all bills paid, and appliances are supposed to be in them.
Now, since we spoke with the landlord, he has now paid the bill and water is restored. Joplin officials told KOAM they will issue a notice to vacate the building to the residents. No timeline for that, though, or demolition of the building is scheduled at this time. On Thursday, the Homeless Coalition of Jasper and Newton counties provided a one-stop location for people experiencing homelessness to access resources. The Winter Project Homeless Connect event connects the homeless with healthcare, food, and housing resources, as well as helping them look for employment opportunities.
I think it stays about the same. It can fluctuate here and there a little bit, but I mean, as far as the number of folks we've seen today, it's about the same as last year, but that isn't all the homeless people in the area. There's folks that don't come to this or that we can't find and count. So.
Half-day event was hosted at the Central Christian Center in Joplin. City of Carthage does not have any candidates currently running for City Council in Ward 1 and Ward 3 ahead of the municipal elections. If no one is on the ballot April 4th, the city will have 2 empty seats. The mayor will have to appoint people to fill those seats if there are no serious write-in candidates. Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis says no matter what, those seats will end up filled.
I think our local government should be much more powerful than it is, but a lot of people just don't seem to be very energized or excited about it. Maybe apathetic. Apathy is pretty strong sometimes. But you know, at the end of the day, somebody will fill those positions, and we will have full councils come in the weeks after the election.
Under Carthage city rules, anyone who registers as a write-in candidate will be eligible for the position. Freeman Health System is receiving a $1.7 million grant from the Missouri Department of Economic Development. It will help Freeman train and retain more than 800 workers in high-need areas such as nursing and scrub tech.
So we are limited by the size of the space they have as to how many people we can enroll in the program. So our hope is by expanding what we're doing, they will be able to take on, right now I believe it's 6 is our max. Our goal would be to have anywhere from 13 to 20 students each session of class.
Freeman also plans to eventually renovate its professional development center to create state-of-the-art classrooms. On Thursday, Freeman Health System donated 18 active shooter trauma kits to the Newton County Sheriff's Office. The kits are designed to stabilize gunshot victims, with each kit containing a variety of supplies, including hand tourniquets, blood stop gauze, and tape and gloves. Freeman says it's enough supplies to provide aid for 5 gunshot victims, and the kits are designed to be used by someone with very limited medical training until help arrives.
And we've got quite a bit of experience building these type of kits. We've built them for law enforcement in the past. And CMN was gracious enough to, yes, here's the money, you work on it. And within a matter of a few days, we had the kits built and ready to go out.
All right, let's take a look at radar right now. It's all clear in our immediate area, but there are some snow flurries up to the north and east, up around Columbia, stretching on over towards Rolla, but that's going to stay away from us today. But as we go through time into the weekend, some winter weather is going to start making a comeback into our area. But let's enjoy this afternoon while we can. Bus stop weather, 36 degrees this morning, sending the kids out to school, and then west-southwesterly winds. Then as they come home today, partly cloudy skies with around 49 degrees, southwesterly winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And if you're planning your day, we're going to see partly cloudy skies this afternoon with a high of 51, so we'll call it mild. At lunchtime, around 45 degrees with partly cloudy skies. 5 o'clock, heading home from work, 50 degrees with a few clouds. And then by the time 8 o'clock rolls around, 44 degrees with the sunrise this morning at 7:25. Let's take a look down the lane. We're going to see partly cloudy skies today, but then tomorrow we'll start to see the clouds increase, especially Saturday night into Sunday morning with an Arctic front dropping down from the north and west. Then we're going to see a winter mix develop across our area, especially early Sunday morning. And then it's going to be much colder on Sunday, and it's going to stay cold for several more days in our forecast, with waves of precipitation coming in from the west and southwest, which could spell some traffic problems across our area. And of course, I'll have more details coming up in your forecast in a little bit later. Tanya?
All right, well, coming up, Aaron Fletcher from the Kansas Special Olympics and Lieutenant Chris Moore from the Pittsburgh Police Department are stopping by to tell us about this year's Polar Plunge.
And later, you may want to think twice before blindly accepting your next dog. One shelter is describing one of its dogs as a demon. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. As well as a new video game lets players team up with Marvel heroes in a battle against evil foe. Rick Damagella reports.
The little sorcerer returns home.
Already, the power of the sanctum returns to me. Your days of plundering its secrets end today!
Marvel's Midnight Suns puts players in the role of an original hero created for the game in a battle against a very evil villain.
Lilith's darkness has been released fully into the world.
Marvel's Midnight Suns is a tactical RPG set in the Marvel Universe, where you get to play as the Hunters, a new customizable hero that we've partnered with Marvel to create.
I am just getting started.
We really wanted to have a diverse roster and have a breadth of heroes from across the Marvel Universe. We picked some very popular heroes that players will definitely know and love, like Iron Man and Captain America and Captain Marvel. And our story skews towards the supernatural side of the Marvel Universe. So we really wanted to pull in new characters that we could kind of elevate. So we added Blade and Ghost Rider, but Robbie Reyes is kind of a newer, younger Ghost Rider. There's a strategy kind of layer of the game where you are in your home base, which is their superhero headquarters called the Abbey. And then we have our combat, our combat side of the game when you go on missions, and combats are a turn-based, tactical, strategic experience.
Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
All right, looks pretty interesting. What's interesting as well is our forecast. We're going to be seeing Mostly fair skies today with just a few clouds. You can see the storm system moving into the Pacific Northwest. This is going to be a weather maker over the next week as we go through time. But right now, temperatures are in the 30s across our area. Generally southwesterly winds, 36 in Nevada right now, 36 also in Carthage. A little bit warmer down in Veneta, where it's 37 degrees. Temperatures are feeling like in the 20s across our area this morning because of the winds. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 36, southwest wind at 17. So as a result, it feels like 26 out there. Dew point's 24, and the pressure is currently falling. Your forecast for this afternoon doesn't look too bad. Partly cloudy skies with highs in the low 50s, mid 50s down in Oklahoma, in Veneta 54, 53 in Judea, and in the 50s in northwest Arkansas. Then as we go through tonight, we're going to see some clouds move in, lows in the 30s, south winds, but some more precipitation starts to develop up towards the north. And as we go through the day tomorrow, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy by evening with highs in the mid 50s. But notice, here's a big Arctic cold front up to the north and west. That's going to slide our way as we go into the overnight hours and Sunday morning, with temperatures dropping into the 30s and 20s behind it with precipitation. And that means a mixed bag of precipitation across our area with lows in the 20s by Sunday morning, teens up to the north and west. Then on Sunday afternoon, temperatures will struggle into the lower 30s and 20s up towards the north and west. And then as we go into Monday morning, we're going to see lows pretty much in the teens and 20s across our entire area. And next week, we're going to see waves of precipitation coming across our area as cold air drops down from the north, and that's going to keep the precipitation going in the form of winter-like precipitation all week long as the cold air stays entrenched with these waves of precipitation coming across our region. And it's going to be cold across the entire area for the entire week, so it's a polar plunge. And speaking of polar plunges, we're going to talk about a different kind of one when we come back from the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We've got two special guests in studio, Lieutenant Chris Moore from Pittsburgh Police Department and Aaron Fletcher with Kansas Special Olympics. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
We were just talking about the Pittsburgh Polar Plunge and how many years you guys have been putting it on. How many years you've been putting it on.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah,
17,
yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's a well-oiled machine. You know what to expect. But each year, it seems like the stakes are higher, though.
Yeah, we always want to beat what we did the year
Yeah.
before. So, when we first started the Polar Plunge, I think it was like $400. And we've gone up to high as $40,000. So, it's every year we want to keep raising more money for our athletes.
How is the money used when it goes to the athletes? Like, what do we spend it on?
Everything. We have healthy athletes. We have uniforms. We have events, the track and field, the basketball, the bocce, all the sporting events. So we can use the money raised by the law enforcement torch run, and we can take it and we go straight to the Kansas Special Olympics, where they use it for all of the activities. It's what funds Special Olympics Kansas.
Right. And they use it for travel expenses too,
Yes.
to get to these events, because they're not all here.
No, we actually have athletes going to be going to Berlin next year. So
Wow.
that's the things we can help fundraise for.
That is awesome. Okay, so let's talk specifically about the Polar Plunge, the details, when, where, and how can you get involved?
So February 11th,
Yes.
it's always the second Saturday in February. We always found it to be easier just to do it that way. So it's always been the second Saturday in February. At the Crimson Villas in the 1900 block of South Rouse in Pittsburgh, they donate and open their pool for us every year. They have for the last 14 years, actually. You show up, jump in freezing cold water, and then get in some tents and warm up. You can go to our website, which is plungeks.org, register a team or an individual, raise $75 minimum, and jump in, and we'll give you a shirt.
We also have a costume contest.
Yes, there's a fun theme this year.
Yeah, fun theme. We're doing rock and roll basically, but you can do whatever kind of costume you would like. So we've had everything from last year. We had Tiger King come out. That was fun. But even people have dressed up like Lieutenant Moore before, and so you can dress up however you'd like to dress. So.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a minimum of $75. We always tell people we like it if you raise more than $75. But we have teams from high schools, police departments and sheriff's departments from all over Southeast Kansas, fire departments, school organizations. We have, and then Doug Hetty's going to MC for us.
Awesome.
So,
yeah,
that'll be good. Yeah.
Still trying to talk him into getting in. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm trying.
We're going to work on that.
I'm thinking if somebody writes a big enough check, I might be able to guilt him into it.
That would be nice. Yeah. All right, if you want to give one last push, like why should people participate, or if they can't jump, why should they donate to this event?
The best thing about Special Olympics, and one of the reasons I do Special Olympics in the law enforcement torch run, is 100% of our money goes to our athletes. It's not going over here, it's not going over here, we're not hiding it over here. 100% of the money raised goes to our athletes. And we are able to help our athletes achieve their dreams. And so it's pretty amazing that me jumping in some cold water for the last 17 years, and I've got to see athletes travel around the world. I've got to see athletes become world champions. I've got to see athletes become something they never thought they'd be able to do, and they're able to do it. So and that's all it takes. It's just 5 minutes out of your day, jump in some cold water.
And where can you go to sign up and find more information?
You can go to our website at Special Olympics Kansas. It's soks.org, or you can just go to plungeks.org. And so both will work.
And we'll put a link to that from the story on our website, KOAM News Now.
Sounds great.
Later this morning.
Yeah.
All right, thank you too
Thank
so
you.
much for coming in
Very
and
much.
everything you do
We
for
appreciate it.
Kansas Special Olympics. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Albin Sievert of the U.S. Army. The Walnut, Kansas native saw wartime service from 1951 to 1952 in Germany as part of the Field Artillery Battalion, 3rd Division. To Albin Sievert, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
And this is one doggy adoption where the devil really is in the details. One animal shelter isn't holding back in describing one pup it says is more of a demon than a dog.
People are lining up to take him home. Jeannie Moose has the story.
Why is everyone panting to adopt Ralphie, despite or maybe because of the description posted by the Niagara, New York SPCA? He's a whole jerk, not even half.
I was going to just be brutally honest.
He's a year-old, 26-pound French bulldog with serious issues that they tried to deal with humorously. His adoption listing says Ralphie is a fire-breathing demon because when he got too close to a friendly dog,
He was all snarls and lunging and spitting. So in my head, and I was on the other end of this leash, in my head, I'm just like, man, he is like a fire-breathing demon.
when people asked for evidence, the shelter posted video of Ralphie trying to bite a staffer reaching for the latch to enter his kennel.
What's the funniest jerky thing you've seen him do?
The missed bite.
While lying in director Amy Lewis's office,
What are you doing, Ralph?
he suddenly lunged at a passing staffer's leg.
What would be the perfect home for Ralphie?
Well, with the Mother of Dragons, of course.
The one from Game of Thrones. But jokes aside, the shelter will only place Ralphie in a home without kids, without other pets. His demonic profile has attracted 40 to 50 calls a day. He's getting encouragement from owners of other bad-mannered but much-loved Frenchies. From one strong-willed boy to another, keep at it, Ralphie. Someone's going to love you for the sassy boy you are. Ralphie's new owners should be
Stern and put up with zero crap.
softies. Don't even think of taking the leap and adopting this little stinker.
Well, excuse me.
He's not exactly a treat.
Good job.
Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
I don't know, he looks like such
He's
a
an
sweet
angel.
little dog.
No
Just
demon there.
don't put him with kids and other dogs.
That's right.
All right, we will be right back with more news and weather when we return.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. The Missouri one-call system is revamping its effort to encourage people to call 811 before digging. Missouri has joined numerous other states emphasizing the 3-digit number as the simplest way to contact crews to identify the locations of utilities such as gas, water, and electric lines. It's open 24/7. The number has been available for years, but this new campaign drops the promotion of other numbers and updates the Missouri 811.org website. The city of Carthage does not have any candidates currently running for city council in Ward 1 and Ward 3 ahead of the municipal elections. KOAM Shagun Bomadelli has more.
If no one is on the ballot come April 4th, the city will have 2 empty seats. The mayor will have to appoint people to fill those seats if there is no serious write-in candidates.
And that is the municipal election, where voters have the opportunity to choose the people that are going to represent them in city councils and school boards, and there's some bond issues, etc. But there are times that we don't have somebody who registers or files to run for that office.
Davies says Carthage is not the only city facing this issue.
Carthage is one of those cities. As a matter of fact, Carl Junction has got a ward that nobody filed for one of the seats. Dunnaweg has got 2 people. Orinoco has 2 positions that nobody filed for. Waco has 1 position. So we have a lot of positions that nobody filed for, which is usually unique.
When it comes to local politics, most people do not know why they need to get involved. So I spoke to a county official who gives me reasons why community members need to play an active role in local politics.
I think our local government should be much more powerful than it is, but a lot of people just don't seem to be very energized or excited about it. Maybe apathetic. Apathy is pretty strong sometimes. But you know, at the end of the day, somebody will fill those positions, and we will have full councils come in the weeks after the election.
One city administrator says being a city council can be daunting.
Being on the city council actually requires a lot more time than what many individuals think. You have to give up a lot of evenings for meetings. They're required to also serve on standing committees for public safety, public services, public works, and we also have budget and insurance audit and claims.
Reporting in Carthage, Shagumam Dele, KOAM News.
Under Carthage city rules, anyone who registers as a write-in candidate will be eligible for the position. Well, the Carthage Chamber of Commerce hosted an event to celebrate a partnership between Big Brothers Big Sisters of Jasper and Newton counties and the Community Bank and Trust. It was a chance for people in both organizations to get to know each other and learn about upcoming events.
What I like to say, what we do is we really just move roadblocks. We don't try to change kids. We don't try to fix kids. The kids don't need to be fixed. We move roadblocks. Something in their life has happened that has set up a roadblock, and we come alongside them to move that roadblock to clear that path for them.
And there was also an opportunity to bid on an autographed football from the Chiefs' own Legarius Sneed. Well, former Grove, Oklahoma teacher and citizen of Cherokee Nation receives the chance to officiate at the Super Bowl. Jared Phillips taught in Jay and Grove, Oklahoma for 14 years and has been at Wycliffe Elementary in Salina for 2 years as a teacher and basketball coach. Cherokee Nation said in a release that Phillips is likely the first Cherokee Nation citizen to officiate a Super Bowl game. He was chosen by the NFL as a down judge official for Super Bowl 57. In 1993, he began officiating amateur sports and climbed his way to the professional ranks in the NFL by 2016. Well, the USD 250 Foundation in Pittsburgh hosted a reception for winners of this year's Teacher Grant Awards. Each year, the foundation gives grants to teachers who implement innovative ways of teaching and learning.
One of the things I know is important is allowing teachers to teach, and they don't always have the funds provided here by the school district. It's just the way it is. And also we have so many deserving students who want to go to the universities, colleges, trade schools, and they don't always have the funds to do that.
This year, 30 classrooms are receiving grants that total nearly $19,000.
All right, let's take a look at radar right now. It's all clear. There are a few flurries up to the north and east, though, in around the Rolla and Columbia area, but that's going to stay away from us. However, we are going to see some flurries and a mixture of winter bag precipitation as we head through the weekend. But let's enjoy the afternoon as we can. 36 degrees if you're heading off to school. And then by this evening, by the time you come home, 49 degrees with partly cloudy skies. And then as we take a look at planning your day, we're expecting a mild day with a high of 51 degrees, around lunchtime 45, and then we'll drop down into the upper 40s a little bit after 5 p.m. and then by 8 o'clock, 44 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Looking down the lane, things are going to be changing. We're going to have a partly cloudy day today, but an Arctic front moves in from the north and west on Saturday night, and then an early mixture on Sunday morning. And of course, that means a cold week, and I'll have all the details when we return.
Our All right, we're back, and it's time to close out the week with our own Shannon Becker and his big 3 stories.
Hello. You ready for the weekend?
I am.
I am too.
I'm ready for like a day and or 2 days of warmth before it gets nasty.
Yeah, it's going to get, it is January. It's acting like winter finally. Let's take a look at the big 3 stories this week live in breaking news. It was last Friday morning, a car crashed into a building storefront in downtown Joplin. It was at 523 South Main. A lady was parallel parking to get her hair cut, actually where she was going.
That looks more like perpendicular parking.
Yeah, it did not hit the vehicle that was right behind it even. Just accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake and went into the window there. Rosenberg Recovery and Towing removed it out of the window. They had to board up for a while before permanent repairs will be made. Nobody was injured, so that's the good news, but it was quite bizarre to see.
Ooh,
our number 2 story, live and breaking news at KOAM News Now. Did you see the fireball? Well, maybe you saw it on your Ring doorbell camera or something like that. This is something we wouldn't have seen 15 years ago, catching a fireball or a meteor on camera. It was an unscheduled event, so sort of like a falling star maybe. But you could see it from places all across the Joplin area to Tulsa, Wagoner, Oklahoma. So it was over a large area.
What time did it come?
3:38 a.m. on that last Friday morning.
Okay.
So just after I'd start people talking about it a week ago right now.
Mhm.
So it's neat. We got all the videos from our followers at KOAM News Now. Our number 1 story. We've all been talking about this mountain lion this morning. I got to talk to Tiffany, who actually took the video and pictures of this mountain lion. It was up near Six Flags, kind of in the country a little bit out there. They're saying the mountain lion is injured. A pickup truck kind of hit it, and then a trailer it was towing stunned it. So it sat there in the road. She said that her son had said, "Hey mom, this huge cat is in the road." Well, it was more than a huge cat. So she got the pictures, and then after a little bit, she said the mountain lion came around, and then it ran off into the woods. These are the sightings that the Missouri Department of Conservation have garnered through the state. They're not necessarily reintroducing them here to the state, but they're not necessarily chasing them out. It's one of those natural migration things sort of happening. They used to be hunted, so not anymore, obviously, but it kind of made them hard to find around the area here. I know Oklahoma, they've been seen before. We did a story this last month, so stay away from the mountain lions. They're big.
Would you rather?
Would you rather? It's such a
Yeah. Would you rather be in a situation where you're one-on-one with no weapons,
all right,
with a mountain lion or a feral hog, like an adult?
An
adult
I
feral
think
hog.
I think I would not do the hog. I've heard bad things about the hogs. And then our bonus story of the week. It is a new Starbucks coming to Webb City. A lot of people have been talking about this. So Starbucks used to be in Webb City at the Price Cutter. They went out of business years ago. So now it's back in Webb City. Don't know the opening date as of yet, but they're getting that furniture in there. It looks really modern and clean cut, clean, crisp lines. It'll be a fun little coffee place there. There's a lot of competition for coffee right now in Webb City, right there on Madison Street. So it's next door to the new Discount Smoke and Liquors, which used to be the Family Video.
Okay.
Yeah, Family Video. They're all gone now.
And this is on Madison Street.
Yep, right, just down a little bit south of Walmart there. That's your big 3 in the bonus. KOAM News Now, live and breaking news.
All right. Once again, such a pleasure. I've been gone a lot of Fridays, so I figured I'd slip in on a Friday before January was over.
You didn't tell me. Feral hog or mountain lion? You.
Feral hog.
Oh, you what? She goes.
I'd try to wrestle it to the ground.
Home. Suey pig.
On that note, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. We have a beautiful day shaping up across the area. Just a few clouds this afternoon. Temperatures warming into the upper 40s and lower 50s. You can see on satellite view just a few passing clouds this afternoon. But we are watching a big storm system moving into the Pacific Northwest. That's going to dive to the south. And as it does so, it's going to sit over Southern California and Arizona and spit pieces of energy at us all week long. And as a result of the cold air in place, that's going to spell some problems as far as winter-like weather. Temperatures right now are definitely winter-like. Generally in the 30s this morning, 35 in Carthage and Lamar, 33 in Iola, 35 up in Yates Center. And when you factor in the wind, it feels a little bit colder out there. 27 in Fort Scott, 25 in Iola, 26 in Commerce, as well as Chautauqua, Veneta, and Independence right now. Currently in Joplin, we're sitting at 36 degrees, southwest wind at 17. So as a result, it makes it feel like 26 out there. The dew point's 24 and the pressure currently falling. Here's your forecast for today. West-southwesterly winds with highs in the upper 40s up to the north, lower 50s for most of the area, mid-50s down to the south. in places like Veneta and in Pryor. Then as we head through Friday, we're going to see partly cloudy skies as we go into Saturday morning with south winds, lows in the 30s. Then on Saturday afternoon, scattered showers will be possible with highs in the mid-50s. And then a big front is going to drop in from the north and west, an Arctic front. That's going to blast through the area, temperatures dropping behind it into the 30s and 20s. And as we go through time, the 20s turns into the teens up to the north and west with northerly winds. And then as we go through Sunday afternoon, temperatures struggling into the lower 30s, 20s up to the north and west. And then as we go into Monday morning, teens across the area pretty much everywhere with a few isolated 20s. Here's a look at the forecast as we go through time this week. Lots of mild air for today and tomorrow, but then that's going to be shoved to the south with that cold air moving in, and then pieces of energy are going to be rolling across our area as we go through the week. And with the cold air in place, that means winter-like precipitation is going to be a pretty good chance across our area, especially as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. Here's the next 7 days. Here's that winter mix all weekend long. And of course, let's not forget Groundhog Day as we head towards next Thursday. Hopefully he will see his shadow, because I think everyone is done with winter. Tanya?
I sure am. All right, thanks, Sam. In Consumer Watch this morning, new Commerce Department data shows the nation's gross domestic product grew a solid 2.9% in the fourth quarter of last year, despite high inflation and rising interest rates. But that number, which measures the sum of the U.S. economy's goods and services, is slightly lower than the previous quarter's 3.2%. And some economists still say the U.S. could be headed for a recession this year. President Biden praised the report Thursday as a very good news during a major economic speech. GDP for the year increased 2.1% over 2021. New alarming analysis shows that motor vehicle thefts in the U.S. increased more than 50% from 2019 to last year. That's according to the Council on Criminal Justice, which conducted the survey across 30 cities. There was a pronounced spike at the start of the COVID pandemic, with the number of thefts more than doubling in 8 of the cities and tripling in Memphis and Chicago. Car theft cost Americans tens of billions of dollars a year. And the free ride is coming to an end for people who use borrowed passwords to watch Netflix. In its latest earnings report, the streaming service says near the end of this fiscal quarter, it will begin charging subscribers who share their account outside their household. That puts the crackdown date sometime before the end of March. Well, it's time to start thinking about taxes. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has some tips for getting returns filed on time and receiving your refund quickly.
Tax season is officially open, and here's what you need to know. This year should feel a lot more like pre-pandemic years, as most of the emergency pandemic relief programs have expired. However, due to a DC holiday, the tax filing deadline is April 18th rather than April 15th. Be on the lookout for your W-2s, 1099s, and other tax documents over the next couple of weeks, though many are already available online. As you prepare to file, remember that paper equals problems. File electronically and use direct deposit, and you will avoid the headache of a delay. If you're due a refund, then you'll likely receive it within 21 days of filing electronically, as long as there are no issues with your return. There are lots of great free resources available to help. The IRS works with a number of tax preparation companies to offer free online products for those who made $73,000 or less in 2022. Go to irs.gov/free-file. Additionally, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, or VITA program, provides free tax help to those people who make $60,000 or less, persons with disabilities, and limited English-speaking taxpayers who need assistance in preparing their returns. Finally, Tax Counseling for the Elderly provides free tax help for individuals who are 60 years of age and older. In New York, I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Football field, a fire truck, and touchdown sirens, all in the front yard. There's a Kansas home that embodies the spirit of the NFL's Kansas City Chiefs.
As Jaya Brown introduces us to the super fan who has the whole Chiefs kingdom right at his front doorstep.
As the Chiefs build their kingdom, I build with them.
Every year, a Kansas City Chiefs superfan brings the championship games right at his front doorstep for friends, family, and even fans to stop by and see the Chiefs' kingdom. With over 100 decorations in his front yard, Dennis Basie and his late wife were determined to show the love they have for the Chiefs in the most interesting way.
I got Arrowhead right here beside me. God gave me this incredible common sense and know how to do this stuff, and I really appreciate it. It's just, it makes me keep going.
From the football field to the fire truck, Dennis Basie carefully sketched out every decoration in his front yard to fit his vision of what game day looks like.
And every night lights are on and all the time, and when the Chiefs makes a touchdown, I have a siren on the banister. One in the truck, that's the touchdown box. That cone goes flying up in the air, and then there's a siren up on my gable roof, and I blow sirens every touchdown, and the city just loves it.
Many fans and friends stop by and take lots of pictures and even tailgate at the Chiefs' home. But Dennis tells us he does all of this in hopes to continue the legacy and to make his wife proud.
She tells me a lot of times, she says, "You are crazy." And but she enjoyed.
I wonder if he has any Bengals fans on his block.
That's a good question.
The Kansas City Chiefs will face the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship this Sunday.
All right, speaking of this Sunday, it's going to be cold, especially if you're heading up to Kansas City for the game. Let's take a look at weather right now. We're looking at mostly fair skies over us this morning, but we do have some clouds dropping in from the north and west. So we'll take a look at the weather here. All right, there we go. We have some clouds moving in from the north and west. That's part of the storm system that's dropping down from the north and the west, and that's going to have an impact in our weather as we head towards the weekend, especially for Sunday. There in Kansas City could be of a winter mix up in that area, and we'll talk about that in a second. But right now, temperatures are in the 30s across the area. Some 40s showing up, like in Grove and Jay, where they're currently sitting at 41 degrees. And we're about 10 to 15 degrees warmer this morning than we were 24 hours ago, so at least we're headed in the right direction. Although right now it feels like it's in the 20s out there for the most part because of the westerly winds making it feel a little bit chillier. 36 in Joplin, southwest wind at 17, feels like 26, and the dew point's 24, and the pressure is currently falling. Here's a look at your forecast for today. Westerly winds, highs in the upper 40s to lower 50s, mid 50s down to the south. Then as we go through tonight, we're going to have lows in the 30s across our area. And then as we go into Saturday, we're going to see scattered showers around, temperatures in the mid 50s. But here comes the Arctic front. That sails down into our area as we head into Saturday night and Sunday morning with temperatures dropping into the 30s. And of course, I'll have more details in your forecast when we come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. Cities around the country are preparing for protests tonight. The city of Memphis is expected to release video showing 5 of its police officers viciously beating Tyree Nichols during a traffic stop. The 29-year-old died 3 days later. All 5 officers are facing second-degree murder and other charges for their role in his death. Police body cam footage showing the attack on Paul Pelosi will be released today. Police say the husband of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was asleep in his home on October 28th when David DePape allegedly broke in and attacked him with a hammer. DePape has been charged with attempted murder. Pelosi says her husband needs several more months of rehab. And the National Archives is calling on former presidents and vice presidents from the last 6 administrations to verify that no classified materials are in their files. It comes as President Biden, former President Trump, and former Vice President Mike Pence all had classified documents in their possession. A source tells CBS News that Trump discouraged aides from preparing to move out, so Pence's team did not start packing until after the Capitol riot.
All right, let's take a look at the forecast. We're going to have a great day today, partly cloudy skies, mild conditions, a high of 51. Then as we go into the weekend, the Arctic front arrives, and so we go into a winter mix. And that winter mix basically stays with us, Tanya, all the way through the week, including Groundhog Day. And if that groundhog does not see his shadow, then I'm going to be upset.
Okay, so if he sees his shadow, we have 6 more weeks of winter.
No,
right?
if he sees his shadow, it means
So if he sees his shadow, winter's over. If he doesn't see his shadow, then
Then-
6 more weeks. So, right. I'm confused. I always get confused about this.
I know, it seems the opposite.
Yeah,
if it's
so-
cloudy, it means it's going to be an early spring.
Right.
If he sees his shadow, then it means 6 more weeks of winter.
Right. So
Because he goes back into his hole.
So we want Groundhog Day to be like a
cloudy-
day.
that's right.
No sunshine that morning.
That's right. That's right. That's
The
what we
sun
want.
can come out the afternoon, but not in the morning. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We got it. We got it.
All
Okay.
right.
Science fiction has become reality. Scientists have designed their own miniature robot that can
Yep.
shapeshift and even escape cages.
This video was taken as part of the research which was published Wednesday in the journal Matter.
As you can see, the robot is solid while in the cage, but it slowly liquefies to get out. Scientists say they got the idea from sea cucumbers, which can alter their stiffness to protect themselves.
Wow, these robots are magnetic. They can conduct electricity and can shift between liquid and solid states to navigate tricky and compromising environments. And they believe technology has a host of applications.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, thank you for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great day.